Jayo Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunja Bihari. Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jayo Girivaradhari, Jayo Girivaradhari, Jayo Gopi Jana. Jayo Yashodanandana, Jayo Braja Jana Ranjana, Jayo Braja Jana Ranjana, Jayo Yashodanandana. Jayo Yamuna Tiravanachari, Jayo Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunja Bihari. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jayo Jagannath Jayo Baladev Jayo Subhadramaya Jayo Sudarshana. Jayo Gauranitai, 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 Jayo Gauranitai. Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gora Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today is Ekadashi. What is more? Pandava Ekadashi. And we read from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrta. Okay, like this. And the chapter is the resident of Vrindavan. Okay. And I just started it. Okay. After stepping over the curbside drain and walking up 3 marble steps, Abhay entered the front door, the driver following him, carrying the luggage. Once inside, Abhay removed his shoes and entered the courtyard, which was open to the sky through a metal grate on which a few birds sat 2 floors above. A column of sunlight lit on side of the courtyard, where a potted tulsi sat atop a pillar. The temple seemed cool and quiet. Adjacent to the courtyard was the deity room, its door locked shut. Overhead was a mezzanine with rooms whose entrances were visible from the courtyard. A few saris and strips of clothes hang on improvised clotheslines. Mahant Gopal, the temple pujari, whose Abhay had known since 1954, greeted him cheerfully. He was about the same age well dressed compared with Gopal, who were only a coarse dhoti. Gopal led Abhay upstairs. Coming out onto the roof, Abhay smiled to see again the wonderful wisdom. Barely 100 yards away, he could see the Yamuna, not only the immediate patch of water flowing before him, but to his left and right, a broad curving sheet of river shimmering in the afternoon sun. There were sand deltas, herds of cows and buffalo grazing, the flat grassy banks of the Yamuna, and plains and trees as far as the eye could see. And in the opposite direction was the town of Vrindavana, marked by dozens of temples, spires, and domes. Abhay's room, the only one on the roof, was small, with narrow double doors and barred windows. Sitting on the apartment's roof, monkeys with their tiny offspring sat watching unalarmed. Just outside the door, a 2-foot-high cement pyramid signified that the temple deity was directly beneath. Abhay entered the room. Through the barred windows, he could see the place at Keshigat, the venerable tower of the Gopinath temple, and beyond, the uninterrupted flat river, the green banks, and the sky. After acquainting Abhay with the details of the room, the small kerosene burner, the rope of bucket for drawing bath water from the well to the roof, Gopal meticulously produced a government-stamped rental agreement. Abhay wrote a short paragraph declaring himself a disciple of the late Sri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada and attesting to his renting the room at 5 rupees per month. Both parties signed. After this bath, Abhay took prasadam and rested. When he heard the bells ringing in the temple below, he went down to see the deities. Gopal, who had been the temple's pujari for many years and had been its reconstruction in 1923, had told Abhay that the temple deity Vamshi Gopal Ji had been installed 350 years before by Mahant Prahlad Das of the Nimbarka Vaishnava Sampradaya. Gopal himself had installed the deity of Radharani. Vamshi Gopalaji, standing in a graceful threefold bending form and holding his flute, was very appealing. He was 3 feet tall and of black marble. Radharani, slightly shorter, was of brass. They were simply dressed in rough white cotton and illuminated by the dim glow of a kerosene lamp. Abhay could see that they were being cared for, but because of poverty, there was no opulence. He returned to the roof as the sun was setting over the town of Vrindavana. Having the entire roof's walkway to himself, Abhay walked and chanted japa, enjoying the cooling early evening breeze from the Yamuna. Occasionally, a solitary boat would pass on the calm waters of Yamuna, and a devotee somewhere unseen could be heard chanting evening prayers at Keshigat. He felt pleased with this location in the heart of the pastimes of Lord Krishna. He wasn't newcomer spending his first day in a strange town. Everything here was already familiar and dear. As Vrindavan was Krishna's abode, Abhay was Krishna's servant, the servant of the 6 Goswamis, the servant of his spiritual master. He felt at home. As they turned to twilight, temple bells rang throughout the town. Abhay walked to the western side of the roof and looked into the city of thousands of temples. The Govindaji temple, the Ranganath temple, and thousands of smaller temples were having their Sandhya Arati and Kirtan glorifying Lord Krishna. Abhay responded to the sights and sounds of Vrindavana as only a pure devotee could. His thoughts and emotions were full of appreciation and awareness of Krishna, Krishna's devotees, and Krishna's land. Naturally, he began to think of preaching, hankering for others to know the intimate peace and ecstasy of Vrindavana. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was inviting all souls to join him in his eternal abode. Yet, even in India, few understood. And outside India, people knew nothing of Vrindavana or of the Yamuna or of what it means to be free of material desires. Why shouldn't people all around the world have this? This was the abode of peace, yet no one knew anything of it, nor were people interested. But this is what they were actually hankering for. So here we think we see a meditation of Srila Prabhupada. Yes, so many people go to Vrindavan, and okay, so this is the perfection of life. As in the Upadeshamrita, we can know that there are many holy places, Govardhan, and many. There is a list, and which holy places are higher than the before, and which is the highest? Radhakund. Radhakund is set as the highest, because this is full of the love of Krishna, of Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna. So this is the highest place. So many things that, okay, so I arrived at Vrindavan, my life is perfect. So if I will leave my body here, I go back home, back to Godhead, yes? And it's true. If there is not some offense occurred, but then there will be some arrangement. So some people think like that. And Srila Prabhupada also went to Vrindavan. But at the same time, he had this thought in his mind. What about the people out there? Yes? They don't know about Vrindavan. They don't know about Yamuna Devi. They don't know about, maybe they don't know about Krishna and Radha. So their life is just futile, good for nothing. Live, die. Live, die, without any purpose. Yes? So then just the time passes, suffering comes, but they don't get from one to the next step. So Srila Prabhupada had these thoughts in their mind, this preaching mood. So he went to Vrindavan to fill the tank of spiritual love, yes, so that he can distribute it. So as we will read it on, the first thing he will do that, just type the Back to Godhead magazine to preach, and back to Delhi to print it and distribute it. So similarly, we come to the temple here, and we can fulfill our tank of inspiration, yes, of love to Radha Madhava, to Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, to Gaur Nitai. And then we can spend our day out. Yes, we go and we do our daily duties. But we can think that here are others who even doesn't know how to live. What is the goal of life? They will just die without stepping anything closer to Krishna. And then, so as Srila Prabhupada did, we can do the same to help others a little bit. Yes, so we can give them a mantra card, make them chant once Hare Krishna, or invite them, or have a little talk with them, or give them japa beads if we know them a little bit deeper, better, or give a Bhagavad Gita or any other book, and it can go on and on and on. So Srila Prabhupada meditated like that. Abhay taught of Back to Godhead and in the magazine, and how by Krishna's grace he might expand his preaching beyond India to the whole world. His God brothers, it would have been better if they had all worked together in the Gaudiya Math, but many of them were at least keeping the regulative principles. None of them, however, seemed to be doing much beyond maintaining a temple here and ashram there, worshipping a deity, eating and sleeping. But there was so much more to be done in broadcasting the glories of Vrindavan. Abhay chanted and thought of Krishna. Gradually, he turned to his task of producing the October issue of Back to Godhead, due to be printed shortly in Delhi. He had a deadline to keep. The next morning, before sunrise, the residents of Vrindavan were austere, bathing in the Yamuna, performing puja to their deities, reciting mantras. But Abhay was awake even before most, writing in stillness beneath the light in his rooftop room. As he wrote diligently in English, scriptural references appeared and took their place within convincing arguments. For hours he wrote page after page in an exercise book, until gradually the chirping of awakening birds signaled the end of the dark night's stillness. Soon the sun would rise. Keeping to his regular schedule, he put aside his writing and began chanting japa, staying in his room, uttering the Hare Krishna mantra in a soft, deep voice. Even before the first traces of light in the sky, before the river was visible, a few Babajis reciting prayers made their way through the streets, heading for the Yamuna. By 4 a.m., gongs and temple bells throughout the city heralded the Mangala Arati of the deity. Abhay continued chanting alone for another hour. Then he prepared to bath, lowering the bucket on its long rope and hauling water up to the rooftop. It was light when he went out, his bead bag round his neck, a few copies of Back to Godhead in his hand. Turning right at the temple door, he walked to the tight, crooked lane, past alleys, dirt path, and cross lanes which interlaced in a winding network. There were no shops in the area, only silent buildings, many of them hundreds of years old. The neighborhood was serene. Behind closed shutters, someone played on wooden clackers and sang Hare Krishna softly. At a crossroads where dark women filled brass water pots from a well, Abhay turned left onto a street lined with small open porches. On either side, he saw ornate temple architecture. One entrance marked by 2 stone lions, another by a carved elephant with teeth like a tiger's. A brick and mortar wall was crumbling with age. Soon Abhay arrived at the Radha Raman temple, established almost 500 years before by Gopal Bhatta Goswami, one of Lord's chief followers. Here, residents of Vrindavana were coming and going according to their vows, following a strict schedule that allowed not a moment's delay, making their daily visit to various temples. Abhay entered and stood amidst a group of worshippers, viewing the deity of Krishna, Radha Ramana. The deity, wearing a fresh garland of flowers, his enchanting black form adorned with bright silks and jewels, appeared very opulent. Yes, it was Lord Chaitanya who sent his disciples to Vrindavan, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and gave them exercises, responsibilities. Yes, it wasn't easy, especially for Rupa Sanatana Goswami, so they were super intelligent person, very devotional, super intelligent. Sanatana Goswami was the older, Rupa Goswami was the younger, and there was Anupama and others. There were more than 3 of them. But all of the brothers, these 3 was most directed or motivated toward spiritual practices. So, but the Nawab Hussain Shah, the Bengal's ruler, saw that this 2 person is too intelligent just not to have them. So he forced them to take some service. So Rupa Goswami became the chief secretary and got a Muslim name like Dabir Kash. And Sanatan Goswami, he became what? Something other minister, some kind of minister. Yeah, and then his name became Shakara Malik. So why this Hussain Shah used them or employed them? Because he wanted to do many bad things. Yeah, so he wanted to invade other areas of Bengal and other territories. His activities was not, how to say, not the best. Okay, I was soft enough. Yes, and Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, Rupa and Sanatana at that time knew it very well. Still, they accepted this position just to save the Vaishnavas who was threatened by the Shah also. But after a certain time, especially they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they had this strong desire to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Rupa Goswami just gave up his royal duties. For Sanatana Goswami, it wasn't so easy. Yes. So first they had Bhagavatam Katha in a place for a time and told the king that we are sick. Sorry. And it was okay. But after a time the king asked that, okay, where is these two ministers? Oh, they are sick. Oh, what a pity. So I will send the best of my doctors, my royal doctor to cure them. Or it was Sanatan Goswami, Sanatan. And the doctor went that place, and the Vaishnavas accepted him with great respect, and examined Sanatan and find that no sickness is sickness at all. Healthy, completely healthy. So he reported the king, that's, oh my lord, there is no sickness at all. Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki jai, Shri Gornitai ki jai. So the Shah became very angry with Sanatan and put him in jail. And Rupa Goswami could escape, so he wrote a letter to Sanatan that, okay, I left a few golden coins in deposit at one of the vegetable merchant here. So you can use this money to get free and come and join Lord Chaitanya's party. So Sanatana got that money by his friends and talked to the guard, the jail guard, yes, who, of course, didn't want to release him. But then he started to speak he spoke so humbly, so sweet, because on the road he could be easily noticed, yes, so by the soldiers and captivated again. So he went through the jungle, and there was some more adventure. At last he arrived at place where Lord Chaitanya were. But by that time he got some sickness because he drank dirty water, infected water. So some pus and other things came out from the wounds on his body all around. So he didn't want to meet Lord Chaitanya in this state. But he wanted to meet him still. So he just sat down outside. When Lord Chaitanya knew that he is there, he went out. And when he saw Sanatan, he was very happy. But Sanatan was reluctant because of this sickness. So Lord Chaitanya embraced him. Oh, now what an offense to be embraced by the Lord himself in this situation. But still, it went on. So the relationship was very, very sweet. And after a certain time, Lord Chaitanya asked them to go to Vrindavan and told them 4 things to do there. First, to uncover the lost sides of Lord Krishna's pastimes. That was the first responsibility. The second, to install deities of Lord and arrange their worship. And the third was to write books on Krishna consciousness. And the fourth, to teach the rules of devotional life. So this was the mission. So they went and then established deities, recovered holy places. Other Goswamis went also, so they also established temples. So today we have many temples in Vrindavan. Okay. Abhay then continued along Vrindavan's winding lanes to visit another temple, Radha Damodara. He passed old Babajis and women carrying water and commercial shop besides an open porch where people worshipped a Shiva linga. Monkeys sitting atop a high concrete wall and ranging from roof to roof, ledge to ledge, chattered and gestured as Abhay walked beneath. As the morning progressed, barefoot children had begun to appear more frequently, playing within the open doorways. As he walked along, chanting japa, his right hand in his bead bag, his lips moving softly, hardly anyone in Vrindavan knew him. But as an elderly, cultured Bengali gentleman, he didn't seem an unusual sight. He was a religious babu in a town devoted entirely to religion. Yes, it reminds me, it's very interesting. When Srila Prabhupada went to the US, that was the same situation, that nobody knew him. And Satsarup Das Goswami Maharaj writes that Americans are very expert not to notice interesting things or anything. Because there are so many things in America, so many hairstyles, interesting peoples, interesting happenings. So when Srila Prabhupada appeared, the appearance was unique, yes? So saffron robes, and an old Indian man, and a homemade shoe. So who will go in a homemade shoe for a worldwide tour? Yes, it's unique. But people do not pay so much attention. So Prabhupada was unknown, yes. But when he revealed that knowledge, that devotion he had in his heart, then more and more people recognized it. And then his reputation also grew. So it happens like this. Abhay would regularly visit Vrindavan's important temples, and afterwards he would shop, returning to his room around 11 with vegetables for cooking. Using the kerosene burner and the 3-tiered cooker, he would cook rice, potatoes, and sometimes sabji. Yes, this is a very famous cooker. Recently means 2 years or 3 years before, that is recently, I show it. I mean a photo of it. I don't remember, where is it at the moment? Anybody knows where is this cooker now? Huh? Where? Huh? Okay, so there, yes. So it is famous, yes, that 3 parts. And in the lower part was cooked the dal, yes. The steams steamed the rice, and up was cooked what? Something. The third one, the third course. So it's a famous things. Okay. He would also cook chapatis. He would take only 1 meal a day at noon, and in the evening a cup of milk. When he didn't have time to cook, he would take the prasadam of the deity. After lunch, he would nap for 15 minutes and then write. He rarely received visitors, but stayed alone writing. Just before sunset, he would again go out visiting temples. At Keshi Ghat, he would pass by sadhus sitting alone here and there, facing the Yamuna. The river itself was little trafficked, sometimes a boat or two slowly moving on the river's placidity. Sometimes a fish splashed in the water, or a bird winged along the river, watchful. Keshi Ghat was quiet and beautiful, especially after the sun had relented for the day. Sadhus would hail Abhay on sight with Vrindavan's common greeting. What is that? Jai Radhe! And Abhay would return his Hare Krishna. Yes. When in the evening he walked through town, he would find himself amidst the vibrations of the kirtan, of one kirtan after another. In the temples of Krishna, Rama, Chaitanya, Nrisimha, or Shiva, in ashram halls, in homes, even amongst groups walking on the streets, there would be kirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The tunes is not written here, so maybe it was a different tune. But okay. So just imagine that you go out and you go to, I don't know where, to the Kala Hanuman temple, and during the way you just hear this, Hare Krishna, from one house. Someone worships the deities. Okay, you go 10 meters, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, someone there do some bhajan. You go 5 meters, you hear some Shrimad Bhagavatam Katha in the third house. They spoke about the Bhagavatam. And you go like this, and how is this resounding the Hare Krishna like that? Why not? Yes? Just imagine the scene. Yes? So it will be the future, isn't it? So the preaching here is so intense that, yes, I remember the kirtan a few days before. We went with the Harinam Sankirtan party, and many people joined the kirtan. It was quite blissful. So they danced like anything. So it will happen in no time. Yes, when we went to Harinam in Hungary, my secret meditation was that when I looked a person, I tried to see him in dhoti and sari. Just imagine that. Okay, he is not in trousers and jeans and this, that, but in sari and dhoti. And he has his little deities at home, and he offers the food and he chants. So I try to see them like that. And interestingly, when I waved to them, they were super inspired. Waved back like that. I don't know. But the Maha Mantra went out and had this effect. So it's very good. Changed their hearts. So who was that? Sachinandana Swami. Yes. Sachinandana Swami. Do you know him here? He preaches rather in Europe, but sometimes he can come to India. So he very famous for his books of how to chant the holy name. Yes, I think he has 3 books. The Nectarian Ocean of the Holy Name, the Broken Names, and the Living Names. And these books are fantastic. If anyone wants to go deeper in chanting, I could suggest, especially this third one. It shows the steps, which is the way of chanting, which is beyond us. Yes. So when we see the road, it's more inspiring to go, because we see where to go. So he draws this road for us just to see. And what is more, not just draw, but helps with practices, how to step, how to make one step. He starts with the body. Yes, how to align the body to the holy name. Yes, the sitting posture, the pronunciation, the hearing, and so on. And then he continues with the mind, how to align the mind. Okay, so that to be in the present and bring back the mind whenever it goes away. And then he continues how to align the heart, to call out for Krishna. Yes, so And this is the first steps, and give more. So there is more. How to chant with sambandha, with the consciousness that I belong to you. So just imagine we could chant like that, Hare Krishna, and we feel I belong to you. Yes, and then I serve you. Yes, so I need nothing else, just you. So these things he introduced us how to step into these realms. Very, very nice book. So I could suggest to anyone who wants to go deeper on the science of chanting. And his devotional life started with the Harinam. When he was 14, Harinam, I think in Hamburg, in a city in Deutschland, in Germany. Harinam went there, passed by, and he was there, and he was captivated. Oh, what is this? He didn't know what is this, but was just captivated. His heart was captivated. So his spiritual life started by Harinam. So you do many Harinams. How many spiritual lives are started here? Yes. When we are. Yes. He would often see Bengali widows gathered together in a hall. Thousands of them lived in ashrams in Vrindavan, staying together with few ones, wearing dull white saris, keeping their hair cut short, never leaving Vrindavan even for Mathura, wanting only to stay in Vrindavan, to die in Vrindavan, chanting Hare Krishna. A man would sit playing mridanga and leading a chant while a group of widows clapped their hands unevenly, responding in their childlike voice. The drum, the clapping, the singers, unpolished but earnest, made a sweet sound in the evening. As Abhay walked, no sooner would the sound of one kirtan fade than another would rise loudly before him and then fade behind him as another rose to meet him. A temple bell ringing formidably, intermingling with the drums, cymbals, and chorus of another group, or a single person passing nearby singing his own Radhe Radhe. Even the greetings were kirtan, Jai Radhe, Haribol. As faces passed, as carts clattered by, as men jogged or made their last transaction of the day in the market, and as stray cows made their way home, their bells clanging around their necks, somehow everything was in connection with Krishna. So this is our goal, yes? So Srila Prabhupada had this vision. He could see everything connected with Krishna. How to do that? The good news that everything is connected to Krishna. It's already there. Yes. But we should learn how to see it. How to see it. So when we go out, we can practice it. How to see the people, how is the people are connected to Krishna. And we will figure out. Yes. Oh, there is a person there. How is he connected to Krishna? Who could give the answer? Yes. You raised your hand. Yes. So he's part and parcel of Krishna, isn't it? That person in the street is a soul having this body here in the material world, but he has Krishna prema in his heart covered yet. But when he start to practice Krishna consciousness, which you can give to him, then his prema will be revealed. Yes. So he will be really connected to Krishna because he wants to be connected to Krishna. This desire is still covered yet, but you can awake this desire. So everything is connected. Everything, Everything is Krishna. What is different than Krishna? Everything is his energy, yes? Is there anything out of Krishna? No. So everything is connected to him. Everything is for his pleasure. So if we align ourselves in that line, so less and less we do things which is not connected to Krishna, means that which is for our own pleasure. So less and less we do with that acts, and no more we do this part, that action which is connected to Krishna, means that this is for Krishna's pleasure. Then our life will be more light, free from burdens, free from difficulties, free from suffering. Yes? Because burdens, suffering is for teaching. This is the purpose of this world around us, to teach us. Oh, we forget Krishna, please remind him. This is the goal, all the shastras, all the instructions, to remember Krishna and not to forget him. Yes. So, and as Abhay returned to the scheduled Vamshi Gopalji temple, there also he would hear kirtans, or more private, perhaps only a husband and wife in the room, the man playing mridanga and singing on one line of a bhajan, his wife singing in response. Vrindavan was not ordinary. Every singer sounded sweet in his own way, and expert melodists, and everyone sang of Krishna. Krishna was present in every occasion and event. Srila Prabhupada. The glories of Krishna nobody can understand. Similarly, Vrindavan, the land which is known as Vrindavan, also has unlimited potency. When you go to Vrindavan, you will find unlimited potency of spiritual atmosphere still. If you go to Vrindavan, you will see so many saints and sages. Still they are worshipping Vrindavan Dham. As Lord Krishna is worshipable, similarly his place, Vrindavan, is as good as Krishna. It is also worshipable. So, Vrindavan is a holy dham, yes, where the Lord had his pastimes. And there are other holy places where the Lord went there to do something. Or even other where the Lord wasn't there personally, but his devotees invited him to be there. So this is the three kinds of holy places in the material world, and of course the spiritual world is there. And so Vrindavan is a replica of Goloka Vrindavan. Yes? But here in Hyderabad, we could create also a holy place by worshipping Radha Madhava. Yes. By worshipping Lord Chaitanya. So doing this Harinam Sankirtan Party Ki Jai. So doing this, we worship Lord Chaitanya, so we invite this spiritual world here. So anyone who can come here and step in, he could feel the change in atmosphere. Oh, there is something different. Yes. So like that. Commuting became difficult. He would take the morning train into Delhi, and having nowhere to stay, returned to Vrindavan the same night. That didn't give him much time in Delhi, and it was expensive. At first, he had stayed with Mr. Gupta, a pious gentleman who studied the Gita regularly and afforded sadhus a place to stay. Abhay had explained to Mr. Gupta about his back to Godhead and his desires to preach in the West. It has been a good arrangement, and Abhay had kept to himself writing. But in time, another sadhu took the room. Even with his minimal personal expenses, it was difficult to raise enough in donations to cover traveling, printing, and mailing. Giving copies of Back to Godhead away wasn't difficult, and he was doing that in Vrindavan. But working alone, writing, editing, selling, soliciting donations was too much. The printer, Mr. Jain, was amazed, wondering why a person would put himself through such difficulties. Printing a newspaper he couldn't afford. Srila Prabhupada. I worked for Back to Godhead day and night. In the beginning, when I was a householder, I didn't care if somebody paid or not paid. I used to distribute liberally. But when I left my household life, and I was living alone, sometimes in Vrindavan, and sometimes in Delhi, or sometimes traveling for pushing on BTG, they were very hard days. After his 12th consecutive fortnightly edition, the issue for November 20th, 1956, Abhay ran out of money. Mr. Jain had to throw up his hands, saying he couldn't print simply out of friendship. Abhay returned to Vrindavan, where he spent his time writing, but with no plan for publication. It was because people weren't interested in becoming Krishna conscious, because they had no time, that Back to Godhead had failed financially. Do you hear this mantra? I have no time when you distribute books? No? Yes, sometimes. The most funny mantra I heard, there was a couple walking very slowly and enjoying the evening breezes. It was in Szeged, my hometown, and I tried to give them a book, and slowly he said, "Sorry, we have no time." Even more funny was when somebody came and I too want to give them, he told that, "Sorry, I cannot read." Okay, so they have some idea how to escape, but sooner or later. Okay, so when somebody rejects the mercy, as who is the devotee in America who Srila Prabhupada's disciple in Silicon Valley, and he teaches the book distribution. Vaisheshika Prabhu, yes, Vaisheshika Prabhu. Vaisheshika Prabhu taught us that it's like fruits. Yes, so when we go to the garden and there is a mango tree, which mango we pick? The ripen, yes, not the pocha. Kacha, okay, kacha. Not the kacha. Kacha. Is it a word here in Telangana? Kacha? No. Okay, you say different word. It's Bengali. Kacha means not ripe enough. Pocha means okay. Yes, so we take the pocha, means the ripen. Why? Because that can be used. So similarly, when we want to give the mercy of the Lord, not everybody is ready for that yet. Yes, it's a process. It's a process of which needs time and needs sunlight. Yes. So what is the sunlight? For them who didn't want to accept any book from us, what is the sunlight for them? Mahamantra, that they hear the Mahamantra. Very good. So they can hear Harinam. What else? Who told? Of course, mercy, everything is by mercy, but how it manifests for them. Prasadam, very good, prasadam, yes. Prasadam is our secret weapon, as Srila Prabhupada told. And many other things, Harinams, they help a little bit to the devotees. They give donations. This is in the culture here, to give some donation. Try it in Hungary. It's not so easy to ask donation.
Why don't you give me donation? I have no money.
Yes, things like that, you know. So. Okay. Who will give me donation? This is the mantra. Who will give me donation? I cannot give donation. But here, this is the culture to give donation. And giving donation to the devotees, which it will be used for the service of Radha Madhava, they did this kind of service. This is the sunlight for their bhakti. And when it is ripe enough, one day they will accept the book. Yes. The time came. Yes. Okay. So we would end here and continue to the next Ekadashi. And like that. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Radha Madhava ki jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki jai. Shri Gornitai ki jai. Entai Gora Premanandi. Haribol.